Hello, excuse me. Sorry about this. Greetings, everyone. Um, I am here to tell you that just now, a while ago, I found consolation for the Jews in Al Imran, Ayat, I think it's 197. I'm just going to recheck, 195. And I'm going to show you that Ayat. I was also thinking of the sacrifices of the Shias and how we when we pray in our ziyarat, also how we are supposed to sacrifice uh, our mothers, fathers, parents, and all for uh, just hold on. So sorry, I'm doing this multitasking here. I apologize for the delay and for all this not being able to concentrate on what I'm conveying to you here. I will in a minute. Just give me a moment here. I'm sharing on my Facebook. Okay, I'm quite overexcited. I was thinking of how to prove this. The Prophet Muhammad, even if he is from the progeny of Ishmael or Ismail, as in Quran ayat Ismail Arabic. So, um, would I ever be able to prove that? So, from Surah Hashar, so I checked about something about the Jews in the Bible, Old Testament. I found that, oh yeah, no, not Surah Hashar, but Quran ayat, which says there was 12 springs, right? Let me see if this has started. So I don't see that this has started here, my live stream. Maybe play the video until I see myself. I'm going to play this video again. Introduction video, the new one. Oh yes, hello. So I'm just seeing the video playing here, and this is behind. This is forward. Okay. I started to talk here before I saw myself coming live here, so I'm going to repeat myself. Greetings, everyone. I'm Zahra Berserk here on this channel, Truth Seeker, Ex-Shia, Ex-Muslim. And so I just found something. I was on this how to prove that those Jews whose houses were broken, who were evacuated, expelled from their homes, and the trees were cut down. How in other ways could I prove? Uh, I found Prophet Muhammad to be a tyrant, terrorist, and using Allah for all this, his tyranny, dictatorship, and worship of him, and terrorism. So I came to Surah Hashar, and then I wanted to prove from that other point of view, like another light, that he's not from Ishmael or Ismail, according to the Quran ayats, Arabic, a son of Abraham. Like, and all the sacrifices, like, of course, Abraham sacrificed his son. In the Quran, it says it's Ismail. In the Bible, it says it's Isaac, right? So Of course, my Shias would want to, like those who have lived for this religion only and for Ahlul Bayt. And then you see in the Quran ayats that if you love your mother, father, wife, anything more than Rasulullah, Allah and Rasulullah, you become a zalim. And also, what's the other 23rd ayat of Surah? Okay, the Surah I forgot it now, but I remember the ayat numbers. Oh, Tawbah. Is it Surah Tawbah? So, oh yeah. So before going on about this, I just have to say correct myself. The last live stream, instead of saying Surah Tawbah, I said Surah Azab. So I just correct myself. It wasn't Surah Azab, verse 33 on the lords, the monks and rabbis, but it's Surah Tawbah. So I apologize for that greatly. Okay, so recently what I found, I'm so overwhelmed. Like I don't even. So if I take a break, like a pause, in the sense that not push the button of the pause, but just in my talk conversation, if I talk, I'm not conversing with anyone, but you know what I mean. If I take a pause, please forgive me. Uh, so yeah, I could see myself being slow also. So please bear with me. I take long pauses at times while talking. You know what? So I wanted to prove that Prophet Muhammad was not from Ismail, okay, from the Quran ayat. And then I couldn't, but I did manage to go this far as, in my live stream say that, okay, there's an ayat in the Quran which says 12 springs of Moses. So I searched that on Google search if it's in the Bible, and I found it in the Bible, and I found 70 palm trees. Not only like how God gave Moses and the elders and all these people, uh, 12 springs. So yes, the number is also the same. But there was, I think, no mention of, or I haven't looked. I don't remember that there's a mention of 70 palm trees in the Quran, but it is there in the Bible, right? So I showed that, that, and then compared it with Surah Hashara. It's that he's cut down the palm trees and all this. And then we were told Ali Imran verses that Imran was, a Sayyid told me, he had deep knowledge in this, that Imam Ali's father's name, true name was Imran. And Imran is the Arabic form of the Hebrew name, Amran, Amram, or Amran, right? Who was the father of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. So I thought, okay, probably it's going to, I don't know how long it's going to take, and I was praying to God, pleading inside. And I was unsettled, like it was, I was in this thing that, oh, maybe I'll never find it, and all that. But maybe this Ali Imran Surah, third Surah in the Quran, it has to do with, uh, let me just check my sound. Has to do with, it has to do with Amram, because Safiya bint Huway, we are told in the Sunni hadiths that she, once the women were making fun of her or something, and Prophet Muhammad told her, well, tell them that, what is your lineage and all this, that you are a relative of Musa, Harun. Harun, her father, and all this. Didn't I show you the? Um, so I showed you the hadith that day. Oh, and Wikipedia, through Wikipedia, searching for Safiya bint Huway. So you can do your a little bit search on that, right, and find out from Wikipedia. Searching on Safiya bint Huway. So what happened is, okay, I've got the this tab nearer to me. Sorry if the voice, but I've put a mic on and it's a wired mic. I don't want to lose my voice here. It's very overwhelming. So Ali Imran, I was reading and I thought, oh God, I'll never find it. Where is it? How to get out of here? Okay. Uh, Come on. Okay. Thank God. So I haven't made anything. I just want to show you on this Chrome. So where to go, how to find this? I was thinking of the sacrifices and those ayats which say that you are disobedient. Now the development, you see the development in Islam through the Quran ayats in Surah Tawbah now. What makes you a zalim and what makes you defiantly disobedient. Anyways, I said I had the heart, although I'm in pain and shock when I even go through my, what have I done? Go through my live streams. Oh my God, that's the time when I'm in pain. All this. Excuse me, sorry. So I found this. Why is a copy this thing coming? Surya Ali Imran. Maybe you are this tab. Maybe you are a Muslim tab or something. You don't want me to tell people the truth. So where's this copy and share coming from? Okay, look at, sorry, mine's 190 Al Imran. You see where this now the development is that you should not take anyone, your relatives, your wives, your commerce, and all that dwellings more important than Allah and His Messenger, right? Remember, I read out that ayat in my previous live stream, 5 hours long, yesterday. Well, so and but here in Surah Ali Imran, so I'm not putting the number. I want you to have a look at this. Imran. My hand is not yet set on this tab. 195 or 6. He killed the Jews. But let me show you. Like they were the rightful. I wanted to show that, he's not the prophet. And so, Shias, I wanted to tell you, but how to show you not to sacrifice and love him more and his grandchildren more and Bibi Fatma Zahra's daughter more than your own people, like your own relative. And about wives and all this, come on. On the other hand, we're told, sorry to speak this way, on the other hand, we're told that, you know, uh, a married man, should not live without his wife for more than 3 months. If he has to, then he can do mutta. So that is okay, your sexual pleasures. Whereas, we girls, and when I was like, we couldn't do anything like that. Father can do something like that, right? Because he's traveling and all. And like Paramahamsa Vishwananda said, that it is inevitable if you are with a smoker, you start smoking, whether after a week, month, or what. So drinking also happens if you're in London, or if you're going to clubs, if you're going to pubs, things like that, right? So I try to stay away from all these things. When I was living in London, the only thing I couldn't stay away from was a very bad habit I have from childhood, smoking. Okay, and all this. And like I said, I could cheat myself, but not others. So Ayat Messenger, where? Oh, Messenger, do not let the struggling. Where am I? Forget this note here. So do not be deceived by the prosperity of the disbelievers throughout the land. The disbelievers, the Muslims are told, moment, believers, that you will tread on land that you haven't even trodden on. How do you say it? Stepped on. You will get that land. And the Surah Azab ayat, is it? So also this, maybe it's Al Imran verse 95 first. So that's, sorry, I wanted to from like, but I have to, I had already searched this verse, read it, and so I'm having some problems here. Uh, bear with me, please. So Imran, so even if Prophet Muhammad, okay, I'm overwhelmed there, and I'm overwhelmed I talk like this. So even if Prophet Muhammad was, there could be a progeny of Ismail, like a lot of people could be from the progeny of Ishmael and Ismail. And then, we have that verse, we sacrifice, yani, we ransomed you with a great sacrifice. You meaning Abraham and Ismail, right? So the Shias will keep telling me that no, 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 it is true, and in your religion, and then you go to Vishwanites and you hear them saying, hear Paramahamsa Vishwananda saying that your wife may leave you, your father, mother, nothing, no one, and all this, but God, you should be after God, right? So we hear this from Vishwanites also, Hindus, and I've been hearing this. But I was still not I shouldn't. So yeah, it didn't help, right? Against my religion, Shia Islam, the true Islam for me, it was, forget Sunni Islam. Sorry to put it that way. So then, Imran. Okay, let me read this verse. I don't know how to start. I'm not prepared for this. And the Lord responded to them, never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you. Oh, let me just say that this ayat was like, we thought that this ayat was for those Muslims, the earliest Muslims who had embraced Islam with Prophet Muhammad. I mean, who were with Prophet Muhammad, and they were driven out, expelled from Makkah, but their homes were not broken. However, maybe their property and things were, their belongings were confiscated, right? So they had to leave Makkah empty handed and all that. But first, Prophet Muhammad left Makkah, and Imam Ali, we are told, slept on his bed to protect him. When they came to kill him, you can see the message also, movie, it's shown in that movie. Or you can check the hadith. Anyways, so I haven't checked the hadith. I don't know which hadith it is in. Anyways, and the Lord responded to them, never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you, whether male or female. You are of one another. Okay, there's brotherhood and Islam and all this, but so those, so here I think before proceeding to read the whole ayat, there's an ayat in Surah Tawbah I found 24, 23, 24. The zalim. Now, if you take anyone, your mother, anyone more than pleasing to you, more than more loved than his Allah and his messenger, it would make you a zalim, or and those who. So I mess up these 23 and 24 ayats, whether defiantly disobedient or zalim, wrongdoers. So like I showed you in my previous live stream, that there's a development about zalim. Now, who can be a zalim and who can be a defiantly disobedient, fasik? Not only in Surah Hashar, like if you compare what they said, that they would be disgraced and the trees were cut down because of that, Yathrib Jews. So, Safiya bint Huwayb was from not Bani Nadir but Bani Qurayza, and her father was the chief of the Bani Qurayza. And so this verse has to do, it says the family of Imran. And so those who emigrated or were evicted from their homes or were harmed in my cause or fought or were killed, I will surely remove from them their misdeeds, and I will surely admit them to gardens beneath which rivers flow as reward from Allah, and Allah has with them the best reward. So taking Surah Hashar ayats also, like why shouldn't they fight Prophet Muhammad when he comes to wanting to break their homes and cut down their trees? Are they supposed to just stand there and you know? So if they fought them, the Muslims of that time, moment, it would not make them wrong because they were fighting in that city against the tyranny of Prophet Muhammad and the believers who even broke their houses. Not only they themselves broke it with their own hands, broke it with their own hands, but the believers. So hope I've made this clear. Now you go to who was Amram. I know that Amram was not only like yeah. I think Amram was. We were told that also Bibi Maryam's father's name. The Quran had given. Anyhow, but let's just be for the sake of very right now. The father's name is not given in the Quran ayats. But here in the Bible, it is clear. Amram exalted people in the book of Exodus. Thank you, Wikipedia. So I won't go in. I'll just give you this short thing, as short as I can make it. But I might read like again and again so that it settles in us. In the book of Exodus, Amram, Hebrew modern, okay, this exalted people. The people are exalted. So, Shias, when you say that, and I couldn't find more evidence against that, that all this ayat is there. We ransomed you with the grand sacrifice. We ransomed you with the grand sacrifice, and this is about Abraham and Ishmael and not Isaac. So God corrected the Bible and the Torah and all this, and that yes, we need to sacrifice to put our religion truth before us, right? And all this, and so where am I? We have to do this, and but but remember, there's Imran, and we say, oh, the even Imam Ali's Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi told me, even Imam Ali's father's name was Imran. That's why Ali Imran. So that's why it's so important that Imam Ali, you know, and all this. But I didn't know the importance of Ali Imran. Why? Imam Ali's father, Imran. Abu Talib is Abu Talib is the father of Talib, right? That's his title. And maybe father of Talib, so is Talib. Did he have an eldest son, Talib? Or is that just a title given to Imam Ali's father's name? But here we find more in Bible that is the people are exalted, and Amram is the husband of Jacob and the father of Aaron, Moses and Miriam. Now we all knew this, right? Shias, if you've read your Bible, if you've read the Bible, Old Testament. Now we come to what. So Ali Imran, we were not told. I didn't know until I met Sayyid Yusuf Zaidi that Abu Talib, Imam Ali's name. Even I didn't hear it from Allama Rashid Tarabi's Majlis, who was a genius orator, a religious orator, Shia side. So that Abu Talib was Imran. His real name was Imran. Okay, so we go to Safiya bint Huwait. Okay, I'll be like, oh no. Okay, disorderly. Sorry, I don't mean any copyright issues. My hand just doesn't settle in on this. Safiya bint Huwait, please give me Wikipedia. So as the women over there at that time were criticizing her, even Prophet Muhammad said that tell them what is your kunya, like what is your who are your in the past descendants, who you come from. Here, I'll show you. So this is even like more important than Ishmael. So maybe Prophet Muhammad did steal, like I've been saying, from the Jews and Huawei. Like when I looked at the Sunni sources, where is it? Where's the kunya? Uh, Here, regarding Safiya's Jewish descent, right? Descent. Muhammad, kunya's descent. Muhammad once said to his wife that if other women insulted her for her Jewish heritage and were jealous because of her beauty, she was to respond, my father, ancestor, Harun, was a prophet. My uncle, his brother Musa, was a prophet. Hmm. And maybe my father, Huwei, was a chief, descendant of, yeah, Amram. So this husband, false prophet. So I'm not going to read this. And here, another point. Do you see? It says here. So I was worried, like, yeah, maybe this is true because of the verse that we ransomed you with a great sacrifice for Abraham and Ishmael. And then Imam Hussein comes and gives his all to protect this religion. And then what we're told in this verses, Surah Tawbah verses, that you can't take anyone more important or love anyone more than his Allah and His Messenger. 23 and 24 verses of Surah Tawbah. So I was in like really in that unsettling thing until I found this verse. And here it says, you are one of another. Like a sense of belonging and all this. So I feel the Jews when I was living in London and all, and seeing that they don't fight each other, no matter what, if they have subsects or whatever in their religion. Although I don't know about Zionists and all this and the Mossad, their spy thing, but some Jews speak against Zionism. But they don't go killing each other and hatred amongst them like we have in Islam between Shias and Sunnis, right? You are one of another. So, if I loved my teacher, a Shia would tell me, my aunt, that, oh, you worship this person, and there could be this fear that I shouldn't be. It goes into some kind of passionate love, and it's haram to because we can only love Allah in that way and no one else, and they loved their those they worship more than Allah. Remember that verse comes in. Can't remember in which surah in Ayat. So they put Ali Imran because salam on those who follow the guidance. Saladin, I wanted to say something to you. Wa alaikum assalam. Please, this is academic, and I will now not allow anyone toying around because I've given my blood, sweat, and I've risked my life on this. I will make Muslim again. Uh, you see, I will now not allow people to come here and toy with my information, insult me, and say things against me. Any personal attack, because I'm doing this for the truth. And Prophet Muhammad has turned out to be a thief and a tyrant and a terrorist. I proved this to you from Surah Hasharayat. Whatever you questioned me on, I answered you. And any toying or any kind of, don't toy here. This is academic. This is for the truth, for the haq. I defeated you. You challenged me again after in my previous live stream. And this is not how we Shias do it. I've been in pain when I was listening to Apostate Prophet and all this. I've still been in pain here. You only leave, if you have to leave Islam, you only leave Prophet Muhammad. We did 2 months mourning and 9 days mourning for Imam Hussein. And this was our life. It should be. I used to keep quiet. I go to Christian Prince. I mean, tossing and turning sometimes, listening to those embarrassing hadiths you Sunnis have. If you go abroad to a class, they will not allow this kind of a thing. So this time, I'm not going to allow this toying and harassment. You kill people, you harm people just because of the truth that they have shown and they are showing. And who are you? Are you better than Prophet Muhammad? Because the Quran ayat says he should not be compelling people. Allah has said twice, thrice in the Quran ayats, I don't know how many times. Then should you compel the people? I will make Muslim again. Who are you going to make Muslim again? And do you have more powers and more authority than Prophet Muhammad? Now you've deviated me, derailing me. Let me show you. So then, are you going to compel? There are ayats contradictory for Prophet Muhammad. He should not be compelling people. And who are you to compel people? Why you assume things? I'm here to clarify the truth. I'm going to take a. Okay, before you retract your messages, I've taken a. I will make Muslim again. What does this mean? So, will you compel people? Didn't you just say, you've written here, I will make Muslim again? What do you mean by this? Either be clear Why you assume things? I'm not assuming things. I'm reading your message. I will make Muslim again. Who will you make Muslim again? Huh? So will you compel? Stop gaslighting, you gaslighters. So will you then compel mankind? And had your Lord willed, those on earth would have believed, all of them together. So will you, O Muhammad, in brackets, then compel mankind? Surah Yunus, Ayat 99. You are going against your religion, or maybe there's a development in this religion in the Quran ayats to compel them later on. So there are contradictions. He should have been lenient. And Ale Imran ayat I read also that had you been harsh with them, they would have left you. But now he was forcing people and making them, giving them gifts to fight. Hmm? Salah Din. Salah Din here, let me show you. Sorry, I don't mean any copyrights issues, infringement. Sorry, I don't mean any copyrights issues, infringement. Saladin, you want to direct my attention? I will make Muslim again. Why you assume things? I'm here to clarify the truth. Okay? Again, you are here to. Why don't you do it on your channel? When you have questions about this, and I have given you many answers. First, you said you're a Muslim. I said, I showed you that verse in the Quran which says, moments are better. You accepted that. I thanked you for it. Before that, you come and you say, before your messages were, this is nonsense. You don't even know Arabic. I'm from Saudi. Then I told you, and I even told you, should Islam be imposed on others? You said no. Then you gave your reason about breaking of homes and of the Yathrib Jews. You said they attempted assassination. I said, where in the world's rule is it for attempted assassination, even on the president, that you should break their homes down, cut down their trees, evacuate them from their homeland? And the believers also broke their homes, Yathrib people's homes. So what is the law of retribution? You could not give me an answer to that. And again, you've come here, and yesterday also in my live, both live streams, one live stream you came later. Do you see this gaslighter? So how, aren't you going to make the Muslims, if you want to make any ex-Muslim Muslim again, don't you think that you should use reason and prove from Quran ayats? Why you are making it personal? You claim to have arguments against Islam, bring it. I already gave you arguments, and now I'm going to, you see, you kind of people, you should go to Christian Prince. He will make mince meat out of you. He will defeat you like anything. You come to weak people. I'm slow. I don't have your ridiculous, embarrassing hadiths here. You said you follow. You said you are a Muslim. I explained to you that from the Quran ayat I showed you. Then you say I follow hadith from the letter, and you can't even speak. You can't. Okay, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you can't. Letter. It says right. Good English speaking. I follow. I'm Ahle Hadith. Ahle Sunnah. What are you? So aren't you Ahle Sunnah? If you also follow Rasulullah by the letter, the hadiths by the letter, why are you making it a personal? No, personal. You not attack personally. Nonsense you tell me. You claim to have arguments. I don't claim, I give. If you want to see it, but you don't want to see argument. And that day, shall I open the live stream? My previous live stream. How you admit? How you admit here? Moments, and you're going to delay my this message, today's live stream. Okay. I will make Muslim again. How? Go on your live stream on your channel and make your anyone Muslim you like. Right? Why you come here? You not see my part of the side I'm showing? And I don't want arguments. I want discussion, decent way. I don't want snakes wiggling out of their way here, just for their ego purpose, saving their religion. He has broken homes, got believers to break homes of the Yathrib people, expel them from the country, city. Now you agreed in that previous live stream that one should not enforce a religion like this on others. Now when you agree, you say I don't even know Arabic in the beginning. I showed you that you don't even know your religion properly. You call yourself Muslim, but believer is a higher status. And then you agree to that, and I thank you. Thank you. I was glad, I was happy that you see it. Now what do you call yourself? So here we have, I've given proof. Argument, no. I don't indulge in arguments. I indulge with academic, proper, decent discussions, not arguments. I give proof. So if you have come here for arguments, I'm sorry. You are not welcome. Please resume what this stream is about. Thank you so much, Salahuddin. Thank you. Okay, now I go here. And I'm not giving arguments, I'm giving proof. I'll leave this. Let's see what you have. So I was saying that my Shias sacrifice their lives. They don't. It's I mean more. They put Imam Hussein religion because Imam Hussein has taught us that Islam comes first and Allah comes first and Rasulullah comes first. So we have to sacrifice our religions, and we take the example of Abraham and his son Ismail, whereas in the Bible it is Abraham with Isaac, sacrificing Isaac. And so there's an ayat in the Quran that we ransomed you with a great sacrifice. Now I resume here. So here, from here, I find I contemplated on many things, my Shias, and we, as I also, sacrifice for my religion, but we don't say it. My loved one or whatever, or if it comes on my religion, and someone tells me that I'm a Muslim, I can do this, then that was it for me, and I gave up going to my loved one to reconcile my teacher I adored. I prayed to God and all this. So first comes our religion. So I'm not talking big or trying to boast about myself. But here, Ali, it's not Ali Imran, it's Ali Imran. And so for the Jews, I wanted justice, Yathrib Jews also, for the polytheists and all this, because I found this prophet to be a hypocrite, saying what he does not do. In Surah Saf, we are told those who say what they do not do, Allah greatly hates them. Can't remember the numbers of the Surah Saf ayat. And then we see in Surah Tahrim, he, Allah tells him, O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself what Allah has made lawful for you, seeking to please your consorts or wives, right? So he breaks a law of Allah that I established through Surah Maida ayat 87, and he's a transgressor because he's supposed to order, convey the message to the believers, and this is an order of Allah that you must not prohibit yourselves the good things which Allah has made lawful for you, and become, meaning, and transgress, meaning become transgressors. So the same thing he does in Surah Tahrim ayat 1, it is stated, we are told. Okay, then now, since I proved all this and I realized, came to Surah Ashar, that he said he uses Allah to say that Allah has expelled the Jews from their homes, the Bani Nadir, and I even checked what he did to Bani Qurayza, and how he beheaded them, 900 maximum people, 600, something like this, of this. And how come we were not told about this? So I was telling the Shias, calling out to the Shias when I was doing that, why didn't you see all this? And how did you, Shias, come, are religious, eminent, respected scholars of old, how did you come to this? That he is completely innocent and a true prophet and all this, right? What they say, the Shias, and respect him. And if you leave this religion, then they will there's a death penalty on the apostates, murtad. And so, after having seen Surah Hashar ayats, he's used Allah to say that Allah evacuated them from their homelands, broke their homes. They cast terror into their hearts, so they broke their homes, and also the believers broke the homes of those Jews in Yathrib and cut down their palm trees, some of their palm trees, because they were defiantly disobedient. Now, I came to the word defiantly disobedient. There's a development in Surah Tawbah about who are the defiantly disobedient. Even if the believers, whether it's in 23, ayat 23 of Surah Tawbah or ayat 24 of Surah Tawbah, let me just check. Where is Surah Tawbah? Last time I left off. I think I must have kept this here. Surah Tawbah, ayat 23 and 24. Now there's a development. So a Sunnis coming here telling me that they broke treaties and all this, and I told them, well, in Surah Tawbah, there's there were some polytheists who did not break the treaty, but it says there, and you must read the ayats properly, that even they would be killed unless they become Muslims, hear the word of Allah, pay the zakah. Now, this means that they have to become Muslims and you have to seep through the Quran ayats properly to see that he won't allow anyone. He has now imposed his religion in a roundabout manner. First, in Surah Mumtahana, we are told if they don't expel you, don't harm them in any way. If they don't harm your religion, attack your religion, don't harm them in any way. But that's not so, because the ones who did not even break a treaty with them in Surah Tawbah, we are told, were killed when the term is ended, unless they ask your protection. And you make them Muslims finally, and those who living around you also fight with them, we are told. Or they have to pay the jizya, so they make you dhimmis, paying the jizya forcefully. And how can you say that if you apply coercion on them, that they are willingly paying the jizya? The Quran ayat, I found a mistake there. Under duress, your will is arrested. So you cannot do that. Now, the development in Surah Tawbah here is that say, if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your kindred, the wealth that you have gained, the commerce in which you fear a decline, and the dwellings in which you delight are dearer to you than Allah and His Messenger, and striving hard and fighting in His cause, then wait until Allah brings about His decision, torment, meaning. And Allah guides not the people who are al-fasiqun, the rebellious, disobedient to Allah. Now, this fasiqun, they were also called in Surah Hashar, ayat 5, the Jews of Yathrib. So, if you're going to say they broke the treaty and all this, but here, uh, and they attacked and they killed some Muslims or attempted an assassination on Prophet Muhammad, I said he could move away from Yathrib. It was not even his birth city, Makkah was. And I showed ayats there, okay? So now Fasikun is a development here in Surah Tawbah ayat. This ayat comes later on. So those ayats must be abrogated now. The Sunnis do believe that some ayats were abrogated. So those peaceful ayats where you don't compel them, and now what fasikins were, now the development on fasikin is that even if you take your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your mates, your kindred, your wealth, your dwellings more beloved than Allah and His Messenger, or striving in the cause of Allah, it will make you fasiqun. This is the development now from Surah Tawbah at 24, and then it goes on to say, Allah has already given you victory. Okay, that's a 24 ayat. Now, if you go back to, have I been saying 23? No. And, O you who believe, take not awliya, supporters and helpers, your fathers, your brothers, if they prefer disbelief to belief. And whoever of you does so, then he is one of the zalimun. So now the 23rd ayat of Surah Tawbah says, now there's a development on who's a zalimun. You don't have to be doing mischief in the land, fasad, or physically harming anyone, or even with your words or opposing the Messenger of Allah in any way. Now it's even taking your fathers and your brothers who are disbelievers as helpers puts you into, you know, what? Zalim category. Now you've fallen into a zalim category. This is the development now. Now those what they say about verses that were abrogated, they must be abrogated. We thought Zalimun, I mean this, that if you take your fathers and your brothers, if you can't even give love, take care of a disbeliever who is your father. You can't you can't do that. It will make you a zalim. So little can you blame the Jews of Yathrib? So you must move out from Yathrib. If your life is in danger, if any Muslim's life is in danger, because you're not from Yathrib, which you made Medina. And there's a verse in the Quran, those angels who take the souls, they say, ask them, what was your position? They say that we were oppressed in our land. The angel said, why did you not seek, emigration or migration? When Allah has made the earth vast. So they said that, so then it's just that you go to hell. You will go to hell. But this other ayat says, if you can't at all, if you're totally incapacitated, let's say the Yathrib Jews were saying, please leave our city. Don't impose your religion on us. And it shows that he's now, he's not allowing anyone to love their fathers even here. It's because they're disbelievers, if they prefer, because they're disbelievers. So that makes you a zalim if you even help or support your father and your brothers. Just not because this person is support him in opposing Allah and His Messenger, but just because in other words, like for example, it's implied Christians don't believe in, or Jews or disbelievers, atheists don't believe in Allah and His Messenger. So maybe if you believe in God, but if you don't believe in this messenger, it does make you a mu'min, right? That also. So how shall I say this? That it's like implied that you're opposing the messenger. Oh, oh this is Surah Takwir. two Tawbah ayats. Oh God. Surah Tawbah, please. So there's so many Surah Tawbahs opened. Uh, so this would be mean that you are. Let me have the ayat in front of me. This would mean that you are. So I can't get. It's taking time. Just because your father doesn't believe in Allah or is it now what is the disbeliever now, and so you can't help him. If you help him in any way, like maybe help your father, it's open to interpretation, this verse. If you help your father because he needs help in old age or some money or you help your father in good things. Now nothing is good. You have to love, love ajre risalat. The reward for his risalat is now the best good deed. So there's a development. This is how the Shias took it, and I can see it. Surah Nisa, no, sorry, Surah 42, Shura, Ayat 23. Love of Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussain. They interpret this ayat as ajre risalat and love for reward for his message and love for his kin, Ali, especially Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussain. And now this is khair al amal. And what if you do any humanity work, kindness or compassionate work, any good deed you do, help you render to others in sickness, in trouble, in distress, any kind words you give to others, consolation you give, it is it will not go in the good deeds, recorded in the good deeds, according to this religion. All failed. If you don't give ajr risalat, if you don't do that good deed by loving his kin, Prophet Muhammad, and also in judgment by completely surrendering to him. That Surah Nisa 64. And then in Surah Ghafir, the Sunni Muslims say, oh yes, these Shias, associate others with God. You have completely surrendered your will. You have to. Surah Nisa 64, I think, says so. In judgment, Taslima. And then they go blaming the Shias, the Sunnis, in that. So this I saw, and anyways, attempted assassination, breaking of pact. I don't know what his pact was, treaty, but you can see that in the end, you have to obey him. He's told in Surah Nisa 64, all those. Surah Nisa 65 or 4. Look at this. If they disagree, let's say the Jews, Christians disagree amongst each other, polytheists, Jews disagree amongst each other, but no, 65, sorry, not 64, I correct myself. Surah Nisa 65. But no, by your Lord, they will not truly believe until they make you, O Muhammad, judge concerning that over which they dispute. They dispute among themselves, right? And then find within themselves no discomfort from what you have judged and submit in full submission. Taslima, I know, means full submission. Again, I'm repeating myself. So submit, wa yusallimu, in full submission, taslima, because in my religion, majlis says taslima has come. So we have to full submission to Prophet Muhammad. This now I understand completely how it's a full submission to Prophet Muhammad and thereafter his progeny, his inheritors of Islam, guides and all, true inheritors. So if the Imam says today, our Shia Imam, that I've decided this for you like he decided for Zainab bin Josh and Zaid. In Surah Azhab, we are told, verse 36. You cannot disobey him even if you don't like the person he wants you to get married to and is Allah. And then what happened? The marriage failed, right? So do you see here full submission? And the Sunnis used to say, I mean, we only submit to Allah's will, we are Muslims. Because here the ayat is, but don't say we are don't say we are, just say you, faith has not entered your hearts, right? How did I search for that verse? Faith has not entered your hearts. So just say you are Muslims and not believers. Say you do not believe, but say we submit, and faith has not entered into your hearts. And if you obey Allah and His Messenger, He will not diminish. Yes, you have to obey Allah and His Messenger. So only when you obey Allah and His Messenger and you make Him the judge. Forget the Surah Ghafir ayat that only Allah can be the judge and they associate whom they associate with Him. No, no, they cannot make those people a judge, but later on they've made Prophet Muhammad the judge. Allah has. Surah Nisa at 65. Allah has made Prophet Muhammad the judge. The Sunnis stick to Surah Ghafir. No, no, don't make anyone a judge. And also the Sunnis stick to, we only submit our wills to Allah. No, no, you have to obey Allah and His Messenger and you have to submit completely to Allah and His Messenger. Sorry, you have to submit completely to His Messenger. Here I asked you Saladin and you said yes, Momins are higher in status than the Muslims. Faith has not yet entered into your hearts. Say, you do not believe, but say, we submit. And faith has not yet entered into your hearts. And if you obey Allah and His Messenger, so if you obey Allah and His Messenger, He will not diminish the art. So the higher station for Mu'mineen, is that you obey Allah and His Messenger. So forget now the prophets who submitted to Allah. Mormons have even higher status than those messengers, prophets, previous ones. There's been a development, and the Sunnis don't see this, but the Shia see it. Okay, and then what? Okay, going back, anything else I have to mention here so that I can, if you think Surah Ali Imran 65, 65 verse is for home. No, no, Surah Nisa, sorry. Nisa. So now I'm making mistakes, sorry. Surah Nisa at 65. I think previously are the Ahle Kitab mentioned, so I'm just going to continue. It's going to take time to load. God. But no, by your Lord, they will not truly believe until they make you. So we send no messenger but to be obeyed by Allah's leave. If they, hypocrites, when they had been unjust to themselves, had come to you and begged Allah's forgiveness, they did. The Bedouins did. So not only in Surah Munafiqun, but remember Surah Fatah, the Bedouins asked for forgiveness. We send no messenger but to be obeyed by Allah's leave. If they, when they had been unjust to themselves, had come to you and begged Allah's forgiveness, and the messenger had begged forgiveness for them, indeed they would have found Allah all forgiving, most merciful. Why weren't the Bedouin Jews forgiven? Surah Fatayat. They asked for forgiveness. They said, our properties and our families have kept us busy. So please ask for forgiveness. They asked the messenger for forgiveness, but the messenger, Allah says, no, they don't mean what is in their, what they say, they don't mean it. Here we are told the hypocrites, if they, when they had been unjust to themselves, because you have to help this messenger, you have to obey him. Oh, so they disobeyed him because they didn't help the messenger. They said our properties and our families have kept us busy. And if that happens, so what happens? If you don't help the Prophet, you become what? Defiantly disobedient. Work it out. So this way, you see, Saladin, I worked it out. But can you see it? Can you accept it? How will you make Muslim again, someone a Muslim? With proofs from Quran ayats, right? And what if you're leading them to a false religion and a false prophet who was a zalim himself, a tyrant and a terrorist? Now, do you see this? Without arguments, just seeping through discussions and showing and sharing, I'm just giving proofs from the Quran ayats, seeping through. There are discrepancies. There's no argument in this. We can have a civilized discussion on this. So please come here, be civilized human beings, so I can show you, and you don't hit on below my belt, my ego, and you don't hurt me personally, so I can show you. And so hope you see it too. So you come out of this religion, which then tells you that you can't even help your father, your mother, if they are disbelievers, it would make you a zalim. It would make you, right? Again, if I don't mess up the Quran, Surah Tawbah. So then you see here another in the light of this ayat now. Thank God I went up. 64 of Surah Nisa. Had the hypocrites come to you who had wronged themselves because they didn't help you had, and said, please ask for us. Now, this is as clear, crystal clear as clear can be. So I missed this ayat, maybe, maybe not, I can't remember. But I showed you the Surah Munafiqun ayat, and then I said, the Shia say, oh, well, that is another category of hypocrites. The Baduans, because they didn't help Rasulullah, and you're supposed to help Rasulullah, and they are hypocrites. They accepted Islam and then they didn't help hypocrites. And in Surah Tawbah, we are told if you, even you help your disbelieving father, it's not right. You are a zalim, you are defiantly disobedient. If you take them uh, more beloved than this messenger, forget Allah for now, like Allah and His messenger and jihad. Now, this ayat, Surah Nisa ayat 64. Please read it. Salahuddin, do you see this? So, just again, I have to show you, doesn't this ayat say, if the hypocrite, meaning you, if they meaning the hypocrites who have fallen short, and they're called hypocrites, right? Because, okay, they accepted Rasulullah and his religion, but they did not help him. But had they come to him and asked for forgiveness, Allah would have forgiven them, right? Very simple. So ABCD, very simple. Just compare this ayat, Surah Nisa 64 to Surah Fat ayat. Can't remember the number, so oh goodness. So please, there's no argument. There's a civilized way. Say to them in clear words, you shall not accompany us. Thus has Allah already said. Then they will say, nay, but you are just. No, let me show you this one. It was actually this one when they asked for forgiveness. Was it 11th ayat of Surah? Oh God. The Bedouins who lag behind will say to you, our possessions and our families occupied us. So ask forgiveness for us. So they say with their tongues what is not in their hearts. They are hypocrites, they are called here. Right? Now you go to Surah Nisa. I'll take you to Surah Nisa again, verse 64. If these hypocrites, meaning these meaning, or they meaning, these hypocrites had come to you and asked forgiveness, you have to see it. So I have already done this in my video uploaded. Do you want to lead people to this hypocrite who has unjustly expelled the Yathrib Jews from their homeland, broken their homes? And he says his Allah has cast terror into their hearts, that's why they broke their homes. So now a little bit for Salahuddin, who has come here. I appreciate your coming here, but let's make it civilized, a discussion and showing, rather than get into arguments. So I'm glad you said, let's see what you have. right? So I'm going back. I'm taking myself back for you here because you came here and you told me, let's see now. Let's see what you have. Now tell me, does this not make Prophet a hypocrite? Not them. Taking this ayat, going back to Surah Nisa ayat. And we did not send any messenger except to be obeyed by permission of Allah. Yes? And if when they wronged themselves, meaning even the hypocrites, because they didn't obey him, didn't go helping him that day, they had come to you, O Muhammad, meaning, and asked forgiveness of Allah and the Messenger, had asked forgiveness for them, they would have found Allah accepting of repentance. Sorry, do you see this? And how many times do I have to show myself this? Do you realize what this is? What this means? Huh? Do you realize what this means? Again, this sexfind.info, I just will ignore you, hide my private photo here, please. So, do you see the Saladin? Saladin, Surah. So now, I'm not Surah Yunus ayat 100. Use your reason to find the proof in Quran ayats. Please use reason. A plus A equals A, right? Very simple, very clear. Had these Muslims, when they wronged themselves, because the Messenger of Allah has to be obeyed by the permission of Allah, and if when they wronged themselves, they meaning the hypocrites, the Muslims, wronged themselves, they had come to you. So this is about the Muslims who wronged themselves. Now, if those Bedouins, who were they? They had accepted Islam. If they had accepted Islam, even then, right, you must forgive them. What does it say here? And ask forgiveness of Allah, and the Messenger had asked forgiveness for them. They had come to you, O Muhammad, and asked forgiveness of Allah, and the Messenger had asked forgiveness for them. They would have found Allah accepting of repentance and mercy. Sorry, I have to be slow. Others who have been here and maybe they are not participating, but Salahuddin for Salahuddin, again on this ayat, please look at this. Then you will, please then don't say we disrespect or falsely accuse the Messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad. Now, who in their right mind, taking Surah Yunus ayat 100 into consideration and another ayat, Surah Yunus ayat 100, reason, use your reason according to, for the Quran ayats also, and proof to find, you know, if there's any discrepancy, contradictions, there's another ayat. It would have been other than Allah. In this Quran, if there were any discrepancies, contradictions, conflicting ayats, this book would have been other than Allah. or this revelation would have been other than Allah. Now tell me, Surah, I found this discrepancy here. Not only this, there are others. And this is a crystal clear discrepancy. Compare this ayat with Surah Fat ayat 11. Let it sink in. Surah Nisa ayat 64. Shall I read it again? I will read it as many times as you want me to read it and compare it, those two ayats. Surah Fat ayat 11, Surah Nisa ayat 64. Or, you know, you go, take time on your own, look at these two ayats, put them in notes, up and down, together. Look at them, keep looking at them until it sinks in. There they were not forgiven. They were asked to, uh, they will, they were like, let me see. Let's put the ayat in front of our eyes. Surah Fat ayat 11. Okay, let's go in. Were they forgiven? According to Surah Nisa 64, they should have been forgiven for disobeying Prophet Muhammad by not helping him. Those who remained behind of the Bedouins will say to you, but were they forgiven? Let's see. Our properties and our families occupied us. So ask forgiveness for us. So ask forgiveness for us. They say with their tongues what is not within their hearts. Say, then who could prevent Allah at all if He intended for you harm or intended for you benefit? Okay, benefit. Rather, ever is Allah of what you do aware. What's this? Okay, continue. I thought I would go to the next ayat. Now, if the messenger had forgiven them and Allah had forgiven them, then why in the other ayats, if you find somewhere, that since the messenger, Allah had to forgive the messenger, Allah had to forgive the messenger for forgiving them. Let's say you take that ayat and you say, no, no, they were forgiven. But that, Zahra, they were punished, but you thought that the messenger, for this, but you thought that the messenger and the believers, but you thought that the messenger and the believers would never return to their families, ever. And that was made pleasing in your hearts. Now he's adding things. And you assumed an assumption of evil and became a people ruined. Ruined people. They became ruined people. So so these they said, but he's putting another extra blame on them. Okay. But you thought they just thought. They didn't help those who were against him. It was just a thought. Now tell me, aren't we told in Islam that if we have bad thoughts and we don't take action on those bad thoughts, should we be, we're not, we haven't sinned, or what do you say? If we haven't taken action on the bad thoughts, Shaitan comes, gives us bad thoughts, or due to our own fault, or something like this, but we stop ourselves, we don't take action on those bad thoughts. They just thought. So another unnecessary blame on them has been put, wouldn't you say? Because the messenger of Allah didn't want to forgive them. And they became a ruined people. You see, here it's unfair to them, here also. If you say, okay, here it said, nay, but Allah will decide whether it intends harm or intends benefit. Nay, but Allah is ever all aware of what you do. Right? Now, what are we told as Muslims? And that if we think bad thought, but we don't take action on it, right? Will there be a punishment on that for us? No. But they have been punished. They are ruined people because they thought that the messenger would not return and the believers to their families ever. That was made fair seeming. That was made fair seeming in their hearts. And you assumed an assumption evil. And you became a people ruined. Moreover, and whoever has not believed in Allah and His Messenger, only now this is for not believing in Allah and His Messenger. And he's saying this now, he's in Yathrib. Of course, the Muslims are going to go against these Jews. Then indeed we have prepared for the disbelievers a blaze, blazing fire, some translations, just because they have not believed in Allah and His Messenger. Is this fair? He's provoking war against the Jews also. 14. And to Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. He forgives whom He wills and punishes whom He wills. And ever is Allah forgiving and merciful. Please don't get deceived by this ayat. This is what He wants. This is a cult. 15. Those who remain behind will say, these Bedouin Jews or Muslims behind will say, when you set out toward the war booty to take it, let us follow you. They wish to change the words of Allah, so I proved, say, never will you follow us. Now you know that he's adding more against the Bedouin Jews, or Muslims, Bedouin Muslims. Say, never will you follow us, thus did Allah say before. So they will say, rather, you envy us. But in fact, they were not understanding except a little. There's another ayat which says, even if they criticize you, these Jews, Christians, have patience to the believers, it is told, or the, yeah, Mormons. Say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins. Now, look at this. What are they punished for? Say to those, not because they thought evil thoughts, already they are ruined. But here it says, say to those who remained behind. And what had they asked for? Forgiveness. It doesn't say to those who spoke ill or thought ill thoughts about the messenger and the believers. No. It says, say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, you will be called to face a people of great military might. You may fight them, you may fight them, or they will submit. So if you obey Allah, no, no. So if you obey, sorry, what, comma, meaning you should have obeyed the messenger. Unfair to them, isn't it? The Prophet does not forgive them. They will be punished like this. Already about their evil thought against the messenger and the believers, we're told they're ruined people. God knows how, but ruined. But now it says here, say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, and what did they ask for forgiveness? You will be called to face a people of great military might, and you may fight them or will submit, or they will submit. So if you obey, Allah will give you a good reward. He's making them fight a military, a great military might. You may fight them. So he's provoked like, an what do you call that? Encounter. He's brought it about and he's saying is Allah has. And this Allah is also like what a punishment, right? So when you read Surah Al Imran ayats where the even the believers of Muslims did not want to fight, the earliest Muslims. Surah Anfal ayat, what did they say? What was mentioned in that ayat? The believers, so Al Imran ayat. Oh, Surah Anfal, so in Ale, they were after the booty, remember? They despaired in the battle, in one of the battles, because they dispersed. And they wanted the one with the caravan, even in Battle of Badr. Allah bichara, and now this is happening. And I don't know how to explain it properly. Say to those who remain behind of the Bedouins, you will be called to face a people of great military might. You may fight them or they will submit. I don't want to see the footnote. I don't have the heart. But you see what, when I don't show you those ayats, good ayats, they're abrogated. And when he's so clever as Allah in him, he's so other than Allah. That's why sometimes even I don't want to go and see the good ayats anymore. Since I've known through seeping through the Quran ayats that he's a hypocrite. How do I have to explain? I have to struggle. I'm not that eloquent. When Dr. David would talk I talk so slow, he talks fast. I have to pause and think and then go through the ayats he's given us. Then I may agree to what he's saying or may not agree to what he's saying. I may not even understand what he's saying at times. I'm slow. I'm struggling here. Then if you show obedience, oh my God. So I have to take a pause here. So if you, what's this? Then if you show obedience to Yani the messenger of Allah and Allah, Allah will grant you a goodly reward. So war becomes like they had now, since they didn't help the messenger, and there was no war, there were just slight skirmishes, we're told in the history, Islamic history. When they went to, when they went back to Makkah, and Abu Sufyan gave Prophet Muhammad the keys of the Kaaba. Now, here it's about this. I had to read this in context because it had to do with these Baduans, and I could see how clever he was. He's not forgiving them, and he's made them fight. Isn't he a warmonger? I could see this, and so I couldn't even compromise or reconcile with my Shia tafsir, the ones who write, commentaries, commentators. I checked this in my Shia commentary, multilingual Quran. Look at how he's turned the wordings around. First, like the development here, that they thought evil thoughts. And Allah, and another ayat comes in that Allah is forgiving, merciful. Doesn't make a difference really because, you know, what forgiveness? Say to those who, he's put other blames on them that they wanted, they said, you're going for the spoils of war. When you win, take us too. So they changed the word of Allah. That is unfair because also against the Muslims of his time, there are ayats in the Quran which say they went for the spoils of war. They wanted the caravan without the army. They were going for the caravan without the army, meaning they didn't want any fight, but they just wanted the caravan. Caravan robbers. Al Imran verse, if you go there, I think it's in Al Imran. You will find it. So slowly, I saw, oh my God, this prophet is changing, twisting, and turning words. And then finally, we are told they're not forgiven. They're going to fight, face a mighty army. They may want to fight them, or they will submit. So if you obey, meaning Allah's messenger, because there's a comma here, Allah will give you a good reward. But if you turn away as you turned away before, He will punish you with a painful punishment. He will punish you if you turn away as you turned away before. Meaning you better fight them. Oh my God. He's pushed them now to confront a very mighty military, right? You see this? What does it mean by this? If you turn away as you turned away before, they said, oh, our property and our family kept us busy. Ask forgiveness. Who has pushed them into war? Prophet Muhammad, and it's Allah. And you say he's not a warmonger? That we are falsely accusing him? You know what is at stake here for the Shias also? They will give their children, they will take their children into Imam Bargas in Pakistan, where we are at risk. Our Imam Bargas are at risk, And those people and their children are at risk for being blasted with bombs, suicide bombers. Our men, Juluses, go and Juluses, we don't care. मुझे नहीं समझाना. I'm a Ashik a Hussein. I'm a lover of Hussein. I'm taking my children to the Julus also. Excuse me. So they say, oh God. And they will give their lives. And there are Bewas in Pakistan. How much can the government take care of them? Give them financial help. And they don't care. Bibi Zainab thi. There we have examples. And if our daughter is 3 years old, we will take her to the Julus. Sorry, to the Majlis, ladies' Majlis. We don't care because we have example. Bibi Sakina thi, Ali Asghar. We're going to take our baby 2 months old. Ali Asghar tha. Ali Asghar, 6 months old. And they're right. They have to do it. Although Imam Hussain told us in Karbala, what night? Ninth night, that you can leave. He's better than his Nana. But here, I think Yazid made him say that. Yazid tried to help the Shias. If you become a Shia Muslim, it will not bring you to this ISIS or those Sunni terrorists to kill us, my former religion people. Shia, Shias. Because Surah Tawbah says, okay, so what did I say? Complete. Yazid helped. If you follow Hussein, Yazid got his name in the black listed. Terrible man, drinking, playing with monkeys. Umayyads like monkey, will be sitting on the pulpit. Monkeys will be sitting on the pulpit for 100 years. Umayyad rule, right? We are told. Yazid was so fond of monkeys. He was a drunkard and did and did. And you made Hussein so like, please, now I cannot. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, so against this hypocrite, Yazid saved the Muslims from being tyrants and breaking homes. Because हमारी नजर तो जाती नहीं है सूरह अशर आयत पे, कभी नहीं जाएगी. पढ़ेंगे, but oh no, this they deserved it. We'll read it. But when I, as a Shia, if I paid attention and I got it, because I, as a Shia, when I read Surah Ahzab, verse 37, I was like, what is this? Then I read Surah Nur, or before that I read, no, before Surah, I understood like, oh no, what's this? Something's wrong here. Surah Nur, ayat 33, you will be forgiven. Now, how can a, a A-level, O-level passed, graduated, can tell you that why should they be forgiven? Allah bichare. Or is this forgiveness for those who are compelling them to? Because the forgiveness can only be for someone who is doing something wrong, has sinned, but forced. Suppose there's a rape. How can God say, oh you rapist, we have forgiven you? Can God say, "Oh, rapist, I've forgiven you"? Surah Nur, Ayat 33. So in my mind, it was like the ones who compelled the prostitutes were forgiven. Allah is all forgiving, merciful. I didn't say anything to anyone at that time. I was like, this Quran, like the about astrology hai, ye hai, we are told science, my highest, everything is there. And it rhymes and it goes well, and this is the word of God. So I said, look, I'm not an astronaut. I don't know knowledge of like the moon runs on a course prescribed for it. Medical, बच्चा क्या हो रहा है in the mother's womb, stomach. What's going on? I'm not. Oh God, He's covered. Allah, Allah, He's covered everything. One shot. Hello, welcome back. So this and what else shall I say? Okay, Surah Nur ayat 33, right? I didn't say anything at that time, but now it's high time. And thanks to those who gave me courage to talk, although it was painful, like listening to the ex-Muslims. Uh, but I felt that I had many questions myself, and I should listen to these ex-Muslims. And when I listened, a civilized human being, you listen to the other side. And I'm no gaslighter, or I don't go there. There were Muslims who were apostate prophet. I don't know. They were saying that they're praying that he die or go into bad health, curse him. Oh my God! But although sometimes it would hurt me, like it would give me that. Even now, looking at these ayats, it startles me, right? Again and again. I don't know when I'll come to totally come out of the shock. Acceptance takes a long time. I think for me, every person is different. So when I'll hear this live stream, as I am shocked now, I'll be shocked in pain like this. Okay, now this very clear, right? That he's pushing them into war, and we were told as Shias that there was only. Ah, don't let. Uh, it hurts. I can't believe what I'm finding inside of me. That I don't know for who, which Shia's feeling I'm feeling. That we were told there's no aggression in Islam. All the wars were fought out of defense. Okay? So this, please see, he will punish you with a grievous punishment. Meaning, if you don't indulge in this war with a mighty military, he will punish you with a grievous penalty. He's pushing you into war. The Baduans, who were occupied with the properties and family, and they asked for forgiveness. Surafat, I'm on Surafat, but that ayat was 11, and this is 16 ayat of Surafat. So after all this, Salahuddin, do you get it or do you not get it? I had to struggle. It's a bit hard explaining how in a roundabout manner he's put the blame on them, even though in Surah Nisa at 64, we are told these hypocrites, if they had come to you and asked forgiveness for you, of you, from you, and you would have prayed and asked forgiveness for them, Allah would have forgiven them. Very clear ayat. Surah Nisa at 64. Now, do you want to be zalim? Do you not want to take care of your disbelieving father? Forget what he has said here. Forget it. For the sake of humanity. Now that I've proved he's a hypocrite. There are contradictions in the Quran ayats. This keeps going on. Are you going to blame me? What I'm showing you is for your own good, for humanity's sake. Even if your father is a disbeliever, take care of him. Don't turn your face away from your father or your mother if she's from a different religion or she's an atheist. Please, you belong to one another. So since Ale Imran ayat doesn't go with the other ayats, this ayat in Ale Imran, where are you? Ale Imran, Ale Imran. And the Lord responded, 195. So this is better, right? Because I see the Jews are united. They don't hate each other because they are some different Jew or they have a different, if they have a denomination, different denomination, they come from a different denomination and their religion. And the Lord responded to them, never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you, whether male or female. You are of one another. I know there's another ayat which says, you are of one another. Here we see, here we see something that I cannot put in words. Like, I'll try my best, but for now I found this ayat, and I feel it's for the Jews. It's from the Jews, and Imran was. So this is the family of Imran. Maybe, maybe the Jews of Yathrib came from. Maybe Hadith says Safia bint Huway came from Harun, right? But this prophet would tell you, his Allah is telling you, no, no, you may be one of another, but don't love each other. Obey more than me. If you, if you put, if you're, let's say your father is old, you want to take care of your father, and the prophet says, come with me, right? Maybe my life is in danger. What kind of a prophet is he? He's using you, and then he says, Allah is sufficient. Trust in Allah. Allah is sufficient as a protector. Maybe this prophet, who is the beloved of Allah, and whom you consider the beloved of Allah, you cannot go to Allah without obeying Him or loving Him more than your father, mother, this, that also, and you will be defiantly disobedient if you don't. Those ayats. Surah Nisa at 24, Surah Tawbah, sorry, Surah Tawbah 23, 24. But here it says, you are one of another. So those who emigrated, I don't think this is a Muslim law. To obey the messenger, take him more precious than your anything, than yourselves even. A merciful prophet will never allow you to do that. Although you can say that from Abraham, you see, you have to, if you love your mother more than him, you might be, go into injustice. So it's a big task. I have to think of that and then come back and prove to you, not argue, show you, like civilized human being, show you from the Quran ayats, and it's a very difficult task, that this prophet is not the mercy of Allah. He should have seen where the Bedouins like needed to take care of their families and not unnecessarily just go there. You know how much money it takes to have horses and all. When those people who didn't have horses, camels, and all that, he's asked, as Allah says, what? No, don't come. Don't come for war. Don't participate. These people cannot. They're lame. This that. That verse is also given, right? So maybe the Shias will say, oh, we saw that the Bedouins had so much money and property, family members were okay, and they just didn't want to go for war. But they asked forgiveness. So a counter argument like this, would it be valid? Because we find a verse in Surah Nisa 64 verse, that if they ask for forgiveness, and if Allah's messenger didn't want to ask for forgiveness. No, no. But he's just making, yeah, oh yes, we have given you authority over them. You can do anything you like. So this verse becomes useless. You see how it becomes pathetic. You, why don't you see it? Because there's another ayat which says that we have given you authority over them, or what? Power over them. You can do what you like. I keep opening tabs like, okay, maybe it is in Surah Hashar. We have given the messenger power. You can do anything you like. This is the problem. So even though it says they come ask you for forgiveness, Allah will forgive them. Oh my God, this cult. I've seen it. Okay, let me just burn all my bridges. Whenever. Is it in Surah Hashar that he who expelled the ones who disbelieved came upon them? How how can you? After reading Surah Hashar, I think Islam is destroyed by the Surah Hashar. I'm not saying I destroyed it. And if not, that Allah decreed for them evacuation. Which ayat was it? That is because they opposed Allah. Whatever they cut down, defiantly disobedient. And what Allah has restored, Allah gives His messengers power over whom He wills. This is the problem. So, this Surah Nisa, you see, Allah, and Allah So what you Muslims moment did, it's not because you did it, it's because Allah did it, and Allah gave His messenger power. So you got the share of that power, and it wasn't Allah who killed, but you killed them. Another ayat. Oh my God, so I have to work it out. So what happens is if Allah gave a messenger the power over them, Allah has given power over them. And He's using the moment to destroy their home. I can't take it anymore. My heart, oh yeah, my heart can't go on anymore. Let me just take a pause for it. Which surah was I going to? Power. Surah Nisa, again. What does it say here? You see how confusing it is for me. We only send messengers to be obeyed by Allah as well. What would you say about this? Like my confusion on this. If I'm stuck on this, I have to chew on it. Wait a minute. Let me just get something to chew on now. If only, no, no, we only send messengers to be obeyed. Just a minute, please, just a moment. Oh my God. To be obeyed by Allah's will. Yeah, Allah's will is there. So if you completely submit to the messenger, it means you have completely submitted to Allah's will. But isn't this association still makes association? If only those hypocrites came to you, O Prophet, after wronging themselves, meaning they disobeyed you, seeking Allah's forgiveness. That's it. I can complete because, and the messenger prayed for their forgiveness, but the messenger didn't accept their forgiveness. Even the hypocrites of Baduan. So yes, we have to use the ayat Surah Munafiqun. What happens here? My goodness. Why not give your life for that true God? Maybe you'll say, go and love the one I or like Elijah was sent for this lady to save her son. He gave her a miracle. Love each other. Excuse me, I'm chewing on something. Oh, look at this. And when you see them, the forms please you. Safiya bint Uway was beautiful. And in Surah Azab, verse 52, if Allah has put, I don't know how, that even if now stop marrying and divorcing and all this, even if you find them yani, even if the beauty stuns you, to the messenger he's saying. And when you see them, their forms, I hate this messenger. Okay, I don't think I'm in a shock. I don't. Sorry. I mean, my hatred is like I don't go harming people, but you know how many he's made us curse his Allah, angels, not only blessings, and men altogether will curse the believers. And his hatred is like go and uh, like let's say there's a hypocrite against me, and I go looking for the hypocrite, false rumors were against me too in Karachi. Do you think I should go looking for them and kill them, massacre them with a complete massacre wherever I find them, accursed? And when you see them, their forms please you. And if they speak, you listen to their speech. They are as if they were pieces of wood propped up. They think that every shout is against them. It's like this messenger. You see those rumors, Surah Azab verse we are told. First of all, the women's form has pleased him. Their beauty has pleased him. Surah Azab verse 52. Then this part of the verse in Surah Munafiqun, 4th, they think that every shout is against them. Maybe, he thinks that because a person, by just having sedition against him, he's a coward. Hypocrites, Surah Azab verse 60 to 61. Hypocrites, those in whose hearts is a disease, and those who spread rumors, right? If they do not desist, we will arouse you against them. So I think I find the element of hypocrisy. I've called them a hypocrite. They think that, but I'm showing you an element of hypocrisy from the ayat Surah Azab ayat. Compare it with this ayat. They think that every shout against them. But how can it, like, if the Jews in Surah Azab take that unintentional mistake of his also? How can they recognize him as, or take him as, how can they even recognize him to be a true prophet when he's practiced a pagan Arab custom, right? Oh, I feel sick. So what he did was, look, the, so for them, like, and if I can show you that he was of course I've shown you in Surah Fatah. I haven't shown you the Surah Fatah it shows you, right? He seems to be provoking war, making them go to war with each other. In Ali Imran, we are told that fight, if not for the cause of Allah, to defend you. Defend yani, to defend yourselves, meaning the word defend yourselves, not even him. Oh, he's a warmonger. How can they find him, the Yathrib Jews, or the Makkans? I mean, forget the Makkans because they were polytheists. They were not Ahle Kitab, right? You cannot use this Kitab that you will find the example of him in your Torah and your Injil, it says, right? Now, Shias, this whole thing, you see? And then, oh yeah, just let me finish this. Come to, and when it is said to them, come, now fifth ayat of Surah Munafiqun, And when it is said to them, "Come, the messenger of Allah will ask forgiveness for you," they turn their heads aside, and you see them evading while they are arrogant, meaning they will never come for forgiveness. And then when they come for forgiveness, Surah Hashar Ayat 11, you don't forgive them. And Surah Nisa Ayat 64, and the Messenger of Allah didn't pray for their forgiveness when they come for your forgiveness, but he's supposed to. Seeking Allah's forgiveness, and the Messenger prayed for their forgiveness. This messenger is not a true messenger because he didn't even pray for their forgiveness, the Baduans' forgiveness. They would have certainly found Allah ever accepting of repentance, most merciful. Oh my God, do you see this? Or am I? See, he didn't pray for forgiveness for the Bedouin Jews. Here, those means hypocrites came to you, a prophet. Huh? Do you see this? Now, homes broken, Allah's permission. Allah expelled the Yathrib Jews. Please come here. And he has power over them, whoever he wants. So you did not kill them, Allah killed them. Now, also this, and what Allah restored her. But Allah gives His messengers power over whom He wills. What what is what is this? Association नहीं है तो क्या है? Allah polytheists, pagan Arab polytheists. Oh my God! And you're supposed to love Him more than this, more than that one, more than. And they love, and against the polytheists, they love them, worship them, uh, and they love them more than they love Allah. Oh, you are such a liar. I mean, this person, sorry, excuse me. I have to say this academically too, because we have to reach a conclusion, right, on this. So Shias, you can sacrifice your lives for a better cause than this one and his evil family members, right? If you have to sacrifice when you love your mother and she can't live without you, it's okay. So we'll go here again back. Where shall we go? So what is that verse I found? So I came here to tell you now. I'll proceed from here in another live stream about Ale Imran. Allah, Allah, Allah could have been what? Who? Away from the Yathrib Jews. And the Lord responded to them, "Never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you, whether male or female." This is a consolation for the Yathrib Jews. You are of you are of one another. So those who emigrated or were evicted from their homes, and even their homes were broken, it comes, or were harmed in my cause, or fought, or were killed. Now they had the right to fight back. Prophet Muhammad and the Muslim. They could have, yes, yes. I will surely remove from them their misdeeds, and I will surely admit No misdeeds, really. Yeah. Yathrib Jews, peaceful. What misdeeds? So this part of the ayat, you see, you see how I got, like, how I found this, stumbled on it. So Shias sacrifice. Good Muslims come in a civilized manner to see. There's no argument. We're not ego. We don't have an ego here. We can't bring our egos here. And the Lord responded to them. Okay. And then what's the other? 196. Be not deceived by the uninhibited movement of the disbelievers throughout the land. अभी किसको कहा है? Who? In the ayat, that you will tread such land that Surah Azab की ayat है. It is but a small enjoyment, and the final refuge is hell. You don't want to follow the messenger of Allah, this false prophet Muhammad, and his progeny. And wretched is the resting place. What if this ayat came from the Jews? But those who fear the Lord will have gardens eternal. देखिए देखिए, इमरान को सही, आल इमरान, फैमिली ऑफ इमरान को अपने सही उसमें डाल दें, रखें, जाने, जाने कौन है, जानने, जाने वो आल इमरान कौन थे? वो यथरिब के जूस थे. अबू तालिब नहीं था, ना रसूलुल्लाह के progeny है आल इमरान. Right? So I came to say this. Urdu में भी कह दिया, I've said it in Urdu. Recognize who were the true Al Imran, the family of Imran. Now it falls into perspective. If you see Prophet Muhammad was from Ishmael, anyone can be from Ishmael. God had promised Ishmael fruitful. But, Al Imran, Amram, exalted people. These were the Jews. Allah, Allah, Allah. My heart sings. My heart feels it. My heart is crying for the Jews of Yathrib. And it makes sense now. Before I couldn't get it. Even when Sayyid Yusuf said, he told me that Abu Talib's name was Imran. So it means his family, yani Ali. Ali, the Amir al Mu'mineen, exalted people. Abu Talib took care of Rasulullah and all this, right? So, no, no, no. So if Abu Talib, you Shias think, was Imran, and this verse is on his family, please, 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 let me correct and correct yourselves. Because such exalted people would not break homes and go after hypocrites when the verse says if they ask for forgiveness, forgive them. But you see in Surah Fat, they were not forgiven. And now, through reason, Quran ayats, proof from Quran ayats seeping through, it wasn't easy. Even now, I had to struggle going back to those ayats. And I will more. So I was very excited that I found this Ali Imran. Give this Ali Imran back to who are the Ali Imran. I don't know how to say it properly. So can you be? I'm coming closer, coming closer. Like if you say Prophet Muhammad and sacrifice, Abraham sacrificed for Allah's sake, so that when you be a leader, you don't put your children in the forefront. You put the people, and you don't even put yourself in the forefront, right? And so very confusing at that time when I was here. Like, if you don't put your child, because you have to take care, you have to lead a nation of people. So you don't put your child, but you also don't put yourself in the forefront. That they kill themselves for you, they sacrifice their lives for you, they're doing it for Allah. So this very, very shaitan aisa aaya hai, in what garb shaitan has come, like it took many, 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 many years. So let's say that I was born in a Shia family, like Hazrat Musa, and the polytheist God. Then I became so like I was after the truth. And why this God? Why Christians? Why Jews? So God, that true polytheist God, gave birth to me in his enemy's house. Like Shia Islam is no one could beat Shia Islam. And then I survived, and here as an ex-Shia today, you this is something to witness. Even Shias could not publish anything. Allama Rashid Turabi had said, the one who publishes against, okay, in your heart you can think, a mind you can think, but if you publish something against this religion or Prophet Muhammad, you're gone, case. You're destroyed, you're ruined, they'll kill you. The marja will come and give, give out a punishment against you, death penalty. Okay? Or maybe with the females, what they do, the Shias, is that they keep them house arrested, like that. आप इससे हट जाएं, चाहे शियास हट जाएं. Ali Imran could be Safiya bint Huway and Huway and Kaab from the Bani. One is from the Bani Nadir chief, and there's also Bani Kureqa. So please look at this. Let it sink into you, and then I will also see this new thing that I've discovered by the grace of God, true polytheist God or true God, so that I put things straight. Okay? And then I will come back to share with you as the development, my findings. Thank you very much, One Shot. Thank you very much for being here. God bless you and your family members. Saladin, thank you very much for being here. But please correct yourself, because this is not an argument. It is not from the ego. I had to struggle and crush my ego for this, keep my anger at bay. It is supposed to be civilized. Although I said my emotions will come up, I'm an ex-Shia. And when I come to a conclusion, I will say what he is, because he's done enough of harm. And for 1400 years, sacrifice of Shias and Sunni Muslims, also the good Muslims. And so please come here as a civilized human being and come with the honest discussions. and questions and answers. Thank you very much. God bless you all and your family members.